All right, we're going to get the meeting to order. You can just take your seats, and welcome to everyone that's tuning in online. We have established quorum, so thank you, Julia, for sharing that. And we can conduct business of the day. Jessica did send out minutes from December. All senators should have the chance to review that. Does anyone have any questions or comments from December's meeting? Would you like to, who would like to approve the December minutes? Senator Newton. Second, Senator Epps. Wonderful. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed say no. Wonderful. All right. So going into updates, this will be a relatively quicker meeting, as we will then have committee time at the end, where I am going to ask if chairs can come together with your committees and just review your charters, the goals you set out, and then also just the next steps for big things that are coming. A lot of committee work right when January, starting off the new year. A lot of committee work is hitting the ground running. There's a lot of big events that are coming through, a lot of things happening, and we want to make sure everyone, at least in person, can have an in-person meeting together and then touch base on the things that are coming up. So the big thing is Chris and I met with the new chief of staff, Dr. Anna Edwards, back in December to talk through her role as an ex officio member and the connection to Staff Senate. And we are working with the president, as he could not be here today, being at the State House, that we will try to get him in either March or April to come back and be a part and be with Staff Senate. So that will be forthcoming. School of Medicine, the Health Science Campus, is going to have the groundbreaking next week on January 23rd at 3 p.m. at the Bull Street District. If you're able to go, I would love to see you there. I will be there as well, representing Staff Senate, but would love to see anyone, especially if this is your zone or area, to be there and just see a groundbreaking if you've never seen one. I wanted to give a shout out and celebrate with our postal services here at USC. They had with the U.S. Department of State an audit looking at their passport facility scores, and they received perfect scores in both the 1600 Hampton and Russell House. That was wonderful. So thank you for sharing that. And Carolina Day is going to be February 11th. That is actually our next Staff Senate meeting. And I would encourage you all to wear garnet and black. But there's a festive amount of things happening at Carolina Day, specifically at the State House with the Alumni Association. And so I'll send you all more information if you haven't received anything. But this is where you can actually interact with legislatures and legislative representatives, and you can talk with them about your passion, especially if you are an alumni as well. They have a call for that. So just wanted to share that if you didn't know, and that way you can share with your constituents as well. In our Collaborate, we are going to have the Provost Retreat coming up, and anyone can attend, and especially staff senators. I would, if you are interested to hear, you can see there's a little bit of agenda where they'll have university updates from the president, state of higher education with Provost Arnett, enrollment trends with Scott Brazile. So there's some really good information there. So if you're willing to be a part, you might be in the college yourself. But if you're not in college and you want to attend, you can attend, but please just sign up and make sure you reference that you are a staff senator. And that is kind of your capacity of being there in the space. Now, if you work in the space too, under the provost office, please, you can put your role, that's fine, or put your role and say staff senator as well in the box. But that's going to be on Friday, January 31st from 9 to 1:30 p.m. Chris and I met with the Council of Academic Deans, if we're staying on the provost trajectory today. And that was, I believe, the first time that Staff Senate has actually gone before the Council of Academic Deans to share who we are, what we're about, and the charge to talk with you if you are in a college, representing a college, because we want them to meet with you. We want you to meet with them more often than not, and just have that understanding and representation of our community and the staff and what we're doing here on campus. They were very open. Chris, I don't know what your thoughts on. I thought they were very open. They were very receptive to what we had to say and share. And they were excited to hear about that we're looking at retention. We're looking at recruitment. We're looking at kind of that awards and celebrating our staff. And so they're eager, right, to keep getting those updates. Chris, do you have anything else you'd share?
I would just mention that I think they were very aware of the role staff plays in our academic units, as well as our partner units across campus. Sometimes I think we think of academic units as faculty driven, but they understand what we do as staff in these units as well. And when we ask for their thoughts on retention. They had a lot of good ideas that they gave us, and a lot of the things we're already working with and have on our agenda as initiatives with the president. And they were very, very appreciative of the opportunities to recognize the hard work that staff does on a daily basis. It also helped that this was right before winter break, so everybody was jovial that we were about to have some time off. But they were all 100% supportive of what we do here, your commitment to staff and being able to assist us.
Yep. And if you haven't met with your dean yet of a college, please reach out to them. They're aware that we exist, that your role exists. And I really encourage you to connect and just share what's been happening and then set up reoccurring meetings with them.
And if you need to, let Megan and I know, now that we've met them all, if we need to be a bridge, we're happy to do so as well to help you get your proverbial foot in the door.
Yes. Thank you for that. With Innovate, things that are coming up. So the big one that I want to share is that we do have an employee engagement survey that will launch this March. This is with Modern Think in partnership with the university. And there is a whole crew of people represented at the university that are kind of part of a central committee. I represent us with Staff Senate on that committee. And I'm going to be working on questions and helping on a subcommittee when it comes to specific questions that this engagement survey is going to ask, right? Our faculty and staff. The caveat is that it is for full-time faculty and staff at the university to gauge, as they're the ones receiving all of the benefits as well as any extras with their roles on our campus. So if you have, and this is just a charge for after our meeting is over, if you have anything in particular climate-wise that I can ask in a question or I can bring forward to the committee to consider as a question when it comes to especially the staff experience, please let me know afterwards, as I want to be able to share and advocate on our body and just be able to ask the questions that we want to get that data on, right? And we want to ask questions that we can actually use the data for our campus to enhance the staff experience. And again, it's for faculty and staff, but if there is anything very specific that you think from a broader context could help guide the work here in Staff Senate, please let me know afterwards, because I'm going to be taking just ideas as we have a quick deadline of early February. So early to mid-February to get our questions solidified, things in, and then we're moving forward with getting it set up with the company to then launch in March. And I believe it's going to be mid-March, March 17th to I think the 31st-ish is when this survey will go out. So wanted to share that with you all. Is there any questions actually about the engagement survey? We have not had an engagement survey since 2018, 2019. So this is timely, relevant. It's a different state, right, of our university that we'll be able to get a picture on, and then this will help guide our body. Really excited to actually have this data once we get it. Awesome. So we have the inaugural something innovative that came out, and this came from our Social Justice Awards Committee at the university. They created for staff 3 Unsung Hero Awards. It's inaugural, so if you are attending that MLK breakfast this Friday morning, these 3 awards are going to be given out at that breakfast, and then they're going to honor one of our dining, one of our facilities, and one of our housing frontline staff members. So we can get a round of applause. It's a huge feat to honor our frontline staff. So that's going to be happening. Another thing to share, you probably saw in USC today, but there is data camp that is coming from our research and educational services at the university, where faculty, staff, and students can actually get free training on specifically data encompassed topics. So whether it's AI, whether it's SQL, Excel, Power BI, data analytics, you can learn a lot through their free professional development area that they've built out. So it's knowledge is power, right? We want to give people an ability to build put more tools in their toolbox and build up what they can do. And so if you're interested ever, this is new, it's out there, and we want to make sure we share this here at Staff Senate. You guys have any questions about some of the innovation stuff that's happening? Staff Senator role, just starting off the new year. I know that fall can be a whirlwind, and I feel like spring, you blink and then it goes by. And so really just rooting into your role and touching base again with the basics of, as a staff senator, what we want you to be able to do. And the biggest part for us is communicating with your constituents. With our membership committee, I know they've been going through to line out who do you represent? And are you aware that you represent a bunch of these units or people? And so really making sure you can communicate with all your constituents and that you have a plan if you're in a bigger group to communicate with all of your constituents regularly, or you remind them of our meetings that we have like this each time beforehand, and where they can come in person or tune in online. And then afterwards, with our communications committee, when they send out that template, we do that so it can be an ease of hitting that forward button and sharing that news with your constituents of what's going on. Really encourage them. We have a ton of great staff Senate projects that are happening all the time. So whether it's the Gamecock Community Shop, with our self-refreshment closet, or Carolina closet, or the pantry, as well as volunteering opportunities that we have, because there's more on the horizon, being able to encourage them to participate. I want to give a shout out to one of our staff members that's not on Staff Senate, Sam Beals. He is constantly at volunteer opportunities. And if we want more staff to be engaged, they don't have to be a senator. So when you find opportunities and know, that one soul in the area you represent, tap them, have them come to stuff. Meeting with your leadership, we talked about this earlier, but making sure you set that time and you make it a priority now. We're in early January. How can you meet at least, on the very least, a quarterly basis with your leadership to be able to share what's been happening? What are some of the great things that have been going on? What are the things we're working on? What is their advice, especially if there's any kind of climate or conversations happening within your specific area you represent, but really on the staff experience as a whole. And then just for you creating time to connect with those that you represent. I think about this often with Nikesha, when we talk about research grant positions and being able to understand, right? I'm not one, but if we represent, and me being a part of the executive body, understanding what is that research grant position experience? What is that time limited staff experience? So same for you. If you have a plethora of employees, you understand what their needs and what their experience is. So thinking about that just as food for thought as we enter January and then the rest of this semester. It will go by like spring flies. So just something to ground us as we move forward into the semester. Does anyone have any questions about this? Beautiful. Something that we are doing is moving a little bit quicker with our executive committee elections and just notice of roles and information, as you in here are going to help make up our next executive committee for next year. And so we wanted to just quickly run through these roles, and we will have another meeting in January, end of January, virtually, where you could tune in and hear more about the roles or ask specific questions. But we wanted to at least share this with you, especially if you are interested, as we'd love if you feel like you would like to pursue a role, or if you know someone around you from your committee work, something you've seen in Staff Senate, where you can tap and nominate another person to be a part of executive committee. So with the president role, I really serve as the liaison to the university and all the different facets and all the different leadership groups, board trustees, president, faculty senate, ex officio, advisors, and other university officials. There's a plethora of committees that we get asked to sit on, and I work with the executive committee to help liaise that if I'm unable to be a part of it. Scheduling our staff meeting, conducting them as I am now, recommendations for committees and chairs. I work really with the executive committee on that task. Creation of ad hoc committees. So when you all come up with ideas, for example, our affiliate ad hoc committee that we had, we want to be able to create that. I have that ability in this role. Appointment of senators, of new senators. I think of Senator Sutherland representing the graduate school. And then I think of anyone that we appoint, right, in different ways, but just appointment of senators to committees as well. And then reports, as you all do, just a request if we ever need it of what's happening. And I'm going to pass it to Chris to talk about vice president. And this is all from the bylaws, so probably is a little more. So Chris, actually, if you want to stand near the mic.
Absolutely. So vice president's role with USC Staff Senate is primarily to work with committees, and that is liaise with committees, their chairs, their members, to make sure their mission is accomplished and can be done so with fidelity. So it's not only the work in the beginning and orientation and so forth, but following it all the way through, working closely with the president. Also serving when the president can't be here, such as I do believe our last meeting when I got to lead the meeting with Megan. I do believe had a sick child, and so therefore that is important. There are some things that I'm going to be speaking with our parliamentarian who could not be here because she's actually ill, but listening. there were some things written into back up one,
sorry.
that are in the vice president's role in the bylaws that don't actually occur, that I think were written as the beginning individuals for SAP Senate began to shape the role, such as prepare agendas for the committee meetings and so forth. Jessica is wonderful in helping with that, and we kind of all work together to do that. So it's not incumbent upon one person to do all of that. So we're going to go in and do some revision there. But while I am up here, since Julia Bellon could not be here, and since I have been parliamentarian, where the parliamentarian's role is also very important, and Julia wrote this. The parliamentarian is a rules follower, specifically Robert's Rules of Order. In addition to being a member of the executive committee, the parliamentarian makes sure the organization adheres to the staff senate bylaws, and all meetings are conducted according to Robert's Rules of Order. Our parliamentarian has served as ex officio member of the bylaws committee. It makes sense that they're parliamentarian, and is also ex officio on at least one other committee. And I'll say all of us on the executive committee are ex officio on at least 2 other committees. Just so we can always hear what's going on, and that committee has a direct line to the executive committee, which anybody can attend those committee meetings as well, but it's faster for us to get information across.
Thank you. Just to cover past president, this is really, again, vice president turns to president and to past president. So this would be my role for next year. Where really I would assist with the transition of the new executive officers. So some of you in here assist with other duties that might be appointed if there's other ad hoc or research opportunities, things where we might need more information or connecting with leadership on different matters. Just attending different meetings and serving as that ex officio member. That's so the past president does not have any voting rights, whether it's in staff senate or on the executive committee. So they really are kind of that guide and advisor when needed, and then advisor to the membership committee.
And one thing I failed to mention, the role of vice president automatically rolls into the president's role, which you can see between vice president, president, and past president, gives that continuity, that historical context. So leadership where other executive committee members may change out, there is that continuity across that board, at least there.
Thank you. That's great. And then I'll have Julia talk about secretary.
So secretary, I did not write anything as secretary, right? Which was fun. But this is, again, as Megan mentioned, really from the bylaws. So some of this is historic of what the secretary was originally designed to do. This has actually been a fun exercise for us to look into the bylaws and say, we might need to update these a little bit. But with that, it says stuff like I do executive committee minutes and executive committee meetings. Thankfully, that's just amazing. So Jessica has been wonderful and kind of taken over that. But you all are aware the secretary does take attendance in these meetings. So I'm always awkwardly peering around to see who's here. And then also I will take the minutes and then distribute them. So in terms of sitting on committees, as we kind of alluded to, we all sit on some committees. Currently I'm kind of on 3, but one is that should be for secretary really is the communications committee, because I meet with them the minutes, then they kind of disperse it in the blurb. So that's really one of them. And then depending on who all takes this role in the future, it really is up to you and kind of the makeup of the executive committee to decide which committees make the most sense for you. So in terms of your previous roles in committee work, and really just what you're interested in. But for the most part, what I really do is take the minutes, take the attendance. That's for the most part. And then treasurer, I know nothing about treasurer. I am not Rebecca, but I have something to read from her. So if she's listening, Rebecca, chime in if I get something wrong. Okay, so this is, bear with me. She was actually detailed and wrote a lot. Okay, the treasurer is responsible for managing our budget and expenditures. This includes responding to requests within the staff senate, as well as reporting and reviews with the university budget office and monitoring funds housed with university foundations. If funds are utilized on the foundation, the treasurer would be the one to make a reimbursement request as well. Currently, that process requires coordination with the provost's office, as that is our current approval path. The budget office requires a fall and spring budget review to be completed in Anaplan. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. They provide training for that process. Any changes needed to the budget would require budget journal entries to be completed as well. The budget office, though, will graciously help walk you through that process as well. So internally, due to the turnover on treasurers, we're not generally responsible for the approval of requisitions or payment requests. Again, this is a running theme. Jessica is wonderful and handles that part, and we have permanent approval queues for those items to follow. As treasurer, we just need to track the expenses as they are processed. We currently have 3 funds to be managed. One is our A fund for general budget. There are smaller categories here that cover some overall functions of staff senate, such as expenses around our annual training workshop and annual senator recognition. Mostly this fund covers payroll for Jessica. We also have a K fund now. So the K fund was established for the purpose of flowing through any funds that we need to use that live at the foundation and for easier intake of donations so that we can utilize university systems in place. These requests will be a manual form that will flow through the provost office for approval. The foundation will always be available to help with that fund. Again, foundation meaning kind of development, so they'll be there to help. That's a Julia anecdote, not Rebecca. Finally, we have an N fund, which is a USC IP project that covers all expenses for Staff Appreciation Day. This fund is generally covered by money provided by the President's office. In order to receive this funding, the treasurer will need to provide a budget to the President's office, which will be created mostly by the Staff Appreciation Day Committee. The treasurer will also need to reconcile the actuals for the event annually and provide that to the President's office. So she says, yes, that's also meant to be read. While these tasks take a while to explain, they're not time consuming on an ongoing basis. Ongoing tasks are really the general executive committee tasks, which involve the monthly and ad hoc executive committee meetings, as well as attending allocated committee meetings as a liaison. So it sounds like a lot, but it's really, she was just detailing the 3 different funds that she just kind of has to track. That's really what it is. I believe she can chime in. But for the most part, again, all executive committee, we have 1 monthly meeting for exec. We have this meeting, and then we have the committee meetings that we're kind of liaisons to. But that's kind of the majority of the work for all of us. So,
Yep.
So please consider.
Yep. So moving on from that, Chris, I know you wanted to share the just last minute remarks for the role.
Please dutifully consider running yourself or encouraging someone else you know to run. I will tell you, it is really fulfilling to serve in this capacity, and it introduces you to a whole nother life in the university. You get to meet lots of wonderful people like our Officio, Shannon, who is here in the provost office, and interact with leaders across campus in a different light. So please consider that. And I think membership will mention this a little later, but we do have that drop-in info session that's virtual Tuesday, January the 28th at 3 p.m. All of you, I think, have received a calendar invite already from Jessica. You have not, but you will. Thank you. I know it's on my calendar, I think, because I have to be there because we will be talking about our roles, but please come, listen, and then just bring questions. Even it's not going to commit you to anything, but if you just have questions about a role and about what the role serves, the amount of time it takes, please drop in or email any one of us. I'm happy to talk offline about our roles. So please just let us know. If not, reserve January 28th at 3 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now move into committee reports. And if you can, just as a reminder, because of our people tuning in online, just come up here to the podium because this is the speaker where they can hear you, but please talk near so that way they can listen in. So we will start with membership.
I was gonna say, we're just coming up here to show you what we wore today. I think they went over everything. Yeah, so
We appreciate you.
February 11th, we do have, February 11th is our next meeting, and that's when people who choose to run will get up and say why they want to run, and then the officer elections will begin February 12th. That's it. Sorry.
And soon we'll be coming out with a nomination link for those people who wish to nominate or run. Correct.
Do you send that or do we send that?
I need a date.
Yeah.
Just tell her.
When? Okay.
Soon.
Yeah, we'll get. Yeah, we'll get Chakira. So we did have some stuff prepared, but that stuff is taken.
Thank you all so much. And please do consider for yourself or for someone that you know in here. I think just even myself, I was tapped. I did not think about where I would be in my staff senate time. And I got to the end of my 2 years and I said, oh, I might be going. And someone said, wait, and was able to tap. And I think when someone does tap someone else, it really does, it does share that, yes, you are capable and you have enough to be able, you have the leadership to do this role. You all do. And so I would really encourage you to tap people, at least one person, to go for a role in here. All right, communications. No report today. Wonderful. Thank you. And check out their website, the website in general for updates. Staff policy and well-being.
Robin Peace, who's our ombuds person, will be meeting with Title IX Molly Pirano to share her latest draft charter that she's been working on for her office. She's looking to strengthen language and understanding related to her visits and the communication she has when people come by her office to try to get further clarity on that the ombud office is not necessarily a formal notice to the university, but that's things that they're going to have to work out amongst themselves. So we're looking forward to hearing back from Robin on that front. Nishikoff, our team, had brought to light through the lens of a research grant type position. So we're going to follow up with VP from HR, Carolina Gardy. Our next meeting is Tuesday, January 21st at 3. And we're going to touch base with her as far as what is being communicated to on the front end to these research grant related positions, whether that's per the policy, they don't have the same grievance rights and things, but are they educated to the fullest extent when they join forces with us? The last thing was we are checking with HR on another front to see if tuition credit can be applied to continuing ed programs. But about it for us this time.
You guys are always working. Love it. Thank you. All right. Professional Development Committee.
Just one quick update from us. We are planning on having a couple more, like post-meeting meet and greets, like when we had a Thirsty Fellow. So we're gonna be putting up a survey just on, probably on Teams, just, where you guys would be interested in going, and what dates you guys would be available. So just keep looking out for those.
All right. Thank you. Community projects.
Okay, Happy New Year, everyone. We only have a couple of updates. So as y'all know, Monday is MLK Day, and traditionally the university does a service day on that Monday, at least from my previous experiences, but Saturday, July, I'm sorry, July.
This Saturday.
Let's get summer my birthday. Saturday, January 18th is when the day of service will be. And they have like I think like 9 different sites where you can sign up. So if you're interested, I'm trying to figure out the best way for us to communicate these
Maybe on
locations.
Thursday, either tomorrow or Thursday, we can send an email with all of these.
Yep.
Because there's 9 opportunities, and that way you guys could just email if you or any of your constituents want to sign up for one of those.
Yep. And
then we are looking at our next date to pick up trash for our Keep the Midlands Beautiful adopted street. The next date with Keep the Midlands Beautiful is Saturday, February 8th, and we generally try to do one around the time when they are doing it so they can help pick up those bags of trash. So I'd love to get an idea of just show of hands if everyone had to pick one of these days, either a Friday or Saturday, Friday, February 7th or Saturday, February 8th. I just wanted to gauge like how many of you think you could get out of work on a Friday, maybe at lunchtime to go. Show of hands. Friday. Good amount, actually. All right, and then everybody else is Saturday. Raise your hand. The Saturday morning would be better. What is
Admitted student day.
Saturday, the 8th?
For those of us who have to work this.
So we're gonna be meeting after this, but we may try to do a Friday, February 7th is Admitted Students Day. Okay. Okay, and we'll still we have to do 4 in the next year, so there will be 3 more after this. And we're gonna ask everybody from Staff Senate to hopefully help with at least one throughout the year if you can. The next one will be in May, will probably be our next date. So we'll send that out. And so no worries if you can't make this next February one. And then we're always asking for donations to the Gamecock Community Shop. They are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can donate clothes, food, essential items, and toiletries. And then also, if you guys have any volunteer opportunities within your units that we don't know about, we would love to hear about them. Maybe that's something that we can add to some of the things that we're doing.
And our next meeting is on the 21st of January.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bylaws. Oh, nothing? Wonderful. No report. All right, awards and recognition.
I want to thank everyone for signing up for, when the survey was sent out to sign up for a committee. However, we only had 15 people to sign up out of our 48 members, not including the executive committee. So if I can send that back out or get Jessica to send it back out, if you guys are interested in signing up for a committee, please do so. If not, then we would, on the day of the Appreciation Day, which is May 22nd, we would love for you to help with setup and breakdown at the end of the Staff Appreciation Day. But as far as the committees, on the protocol committee, for those who signed up, it's 4 of you guys on that committee. The logistics is 6. Kim Rose will serve as the chair for that one. Going back to the protocol, if someone that's already signed up for that committee, if one of you want to volunteer to be the chair of that committee, please let me know. The decoration committee had 6 members on that. We do not have a chair for that one. If someone wants to volunteer for the decoration committee chair, please let me know. Entertainment had 3. Brian, which is already on the awards committee, will serve as the chair on that. And then communications reached out to me and said their team is going to serve as communications for the May 22nd event. In addition to the committees, in addition to your regular scheduled committees, those who signed up for a subcommittee for the Appreciation Day will also have meetings each month, planning meetings once a month, however you need to meet to, get everything situated before the actual Appreciation Day. And I'll reach out. I think we'll have a meeting before the meeting. It's a lot, y'all. So just bear with me. Let's see what else. I believe that's it. But we will try to get that survey back out to you guys to sign up for a committee if you're interested. And if you guys need to know what the committees are about, I have it here. It's also on the survey that was sent out for you guys to sign up. Jessica? Absolutely. So for the protocol, it's Andrea Evan, Cameron Reid, Catherine Kennard, Whitney Williams on the protocol. For logistics, it's Andrea, did you sign up for that one as well? Yeah. And that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, and a lot of this stuff, you guys, is already written out
Leslie, right, Kim, Leslie last year, Bridget.
Or Bridget.
Leslie, sorry, did an amazing job last year of, having the information already written out for us. I just need to put it together and get it out. So no worries, if you sign up, it's pretty much already done. We just need to plan for this year. Okay, so back to the logistics committee is Andrea, Kara Grant, Haley Floyd, Nishika Edwards,
Mhm.
Amanda, Footnote, her. I'm sorry, did I pronounce that? Sorry. And then on the decorations committee, is Rebecca Christopher, Michaela Taylor, Rosalind Elliott, Tiffany Boyd, Margaret Ziegler, and Catherine Kennard. Again, okay. Entertainment is Kelsey Chambers, and Alexis Watts and Brian. And sorry, Kim. Did I mention your name, Kim, on the logistics when I read it? I'm sorry. And then communications team. I don't have that, the folks signed up because they already know they're on that one. But Michaela signed, you were the only one, but everyone else that's on that committee already is forming that committee. And then our next meeting is January 21st. Our committee is January 21st, but please reach out to me if you have any questions, if I can explain more to you about the committee sign up, if you have questions. But again, it should be fairly easy this year. For the logistics, I've already reached out to Airmark for the food, so they have it on there. We just need to decide what we want as far as the food is already on the calendar. I already see it in my list of orders. So that's taken care of, but pretty much everything, we should have a list of folks we contacted last year for these different items. So if you have any questions, please email me, Dr. Burkett or Megan.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. And we will have executive committee members just as well dispersed on those subcommittees. So we're going to try to make sure as streamlined as we can get, just to be as prepared as possible for Appreciation Day. We had over 2,000 staff members come out last year. And so we want to make sure that we have that as well going. And so if you are interested in a particular committee, we will send that back out, but please give some effort in one of the capacities. And then it's really just to have support. And especially if you're like, I can't do beforehand, just with our day jobs, the hats we wear. With that, then the setup and the breakdown, if that's something that you're open to doing, please let Senator Dantzler know. All right. Scholarship and fundraising. Oh, there's the save the date. Scholarship and fundraising.
All right, I don't have much new to share. We don't have the golf course assignment yet. Tyson was working on that. But the date is the week before the staff appreciation. And I've talked to a golf tournament committee or organization that helps with golf tournaments, and so we'll be meeting with them, or our committee will be meeting with them after I talk to him. But that's as much as I got. Thank you.
Yep. And tentatively, the date is May 15th.
Yes, it is.
Yep, for the golf tournament as they prepare to put that on. All right. We don't have any order of business. Okay, announcements and good for the order. Wanted to share out just the USC Palmetto Pathfinder class. There is a training that's going to be happening from 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. on January 17th. So it is this Friday, where the goal is to have trained mentors around campus where you can actually interact with, and this is through the Department of Veteran Affairs, Military and Veteran Affairs. And Candace Terry is leading this program, and they are looking for mentors around campus. So if this is something where you would like to be a mentor, you would like to go through the training and or reach out and see if there's another upcoming training that they can do, they are looking for people around campus. So wanted to share this with you all. I believe it was sent out as well, just across the university, but wanted to make sure it came forefront to you all to then share with your constituents. And then I put Candace's email there for y'all, as we wanted to make sure we pass that forward. Any other announcements in general? Yes.
It was a thing, then it wasn't a thing, it is a thing. And so I know if you show up to the Colonial Life Arena with your ID and 3 people, you'll be let in if it's not sold out. The general admission area and the upper level. Tyson is getting that on the website, because if you called over to athletics, not the CLA, but if you called over to athletics, you were told that it wasn't a thing anymore, and it really is. So it's a thing.
So staff can still go to the basketball games, show their ID, and have 3 people with them, so 4 people total, including themselves. And pending, if it's not a sold out game, you should be able to get in for free. That is a thing. That is true.
Yes.
Okay, we're busting the myth bubble there.
That is just. Will not be a thing.
And just sharing it in for the mic for those online, it is only for women's basketball, and it is only for the regular season games, and it will end there. And that's it. And or if there's an ad hoc committee that wants to advocate for things, could be an opportunity. Any other announcements or things going on that you all want to share with one another? Yes.
So we are very excited. He's joining us. I didn't have a direct.
Wonderful. On February 3rd, you're good. I'm sorry, I'm repeating it for this. February 3rd, the new director of mental health will start in student health services. His name is Brian Lusk, and he's coming from Virginia, and we are so excited to have him. Yay, that's a big win. Wonderful. Yes, it is. It's wonderful to fill roles that are needed. Any other announcements, things happening? Yes.
Things like
Lexi Boom?
Boone.
Boone.
Lexi Boone.
Lexi Boone.
Yes.
Colonial Life Arena has a new general manager
Yes.
named Lexi Boone.
Yes.
All right.
Sid Kenyon retired.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. And the new manager started January 2nd. So welcome. That's wonderful. Any other announcements? All right. So with that, we are going to close this session. We'll vote, but then you are going to go into committee time. So committee chairs, please just accordingly, you can disperse around the room to do committee work until you are finished. But again, please review your charter. Please talk about the fall. If you haven't yet, with your groups, we really would love you to talk about what were some of the good things that happen, the areas that you want to still focus on, develop, but really capturing what you have, because at the end of your term, come June, you're going to be required to give kind of a bigger community report of the things that went on, what your committee worked on, what you accomplished. So this is a good recap moment, and also setting the stage for the future for this semester, what you guys want to hit the ground running right now with. So moving to that conclusion, with all business announcements concluded, is there a motion to adjourn? Oh, I'm sorry. Is there an announcement?
Yeah, quick thing. We pick up. You leave your name bar, but I keep the same order. So just leave them where you are.
Don't take the name down.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? All right, Senator Epps, a second. Wonderful, Senator Watts. With that, we are in adjournment until February 11th.